Hey, Ben, thanks for joining me today. Let's talk a little bit more about your business and tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you got started.
Yeah, I got the online business bug back in around 2015. I started a blog in the Broadway theater space, which I actually ended up selling here on Flippa as well. And the possibility of making money online from home was amazing. And that kind of lit the fire to go into e-commerce. So long story short, I started another e-commerce company, sold that, and then I started Popcolors, which was kind of born out of a random circumstance. But so I've been in e-commerce now for 5 years, and I love it. I love the nuances, and everything changes every day. So you always have different challenges and different problems to solve. So.
Fantastic. So What are some of the products that you provide, and how did you come about picking those products?
Yeah, so our company is all about just having a great time and not taking things too seriously, but also being professional when it comes to customer service and, the quality of products we provide. So what we do is we take basic themes in pop culture and we make them into puns and put them on colored pencils. So for example, I don't know if there's any Broadway theater fans, but a red pencil that we have is a reference from Les Mis, the show, and it's called The Blood of Angry Men. So what we do is we put funny adult themes on what would normally be like a colored pencil or crayon product that just says red, and we make them into funny colors that are topical and relevant to things like TV shows, movies, even careers like nursing, firefighting, teaching. And so what we really do to pick those products is it's really simple. We can use keyword search tools and just kind of see what the zeitgeist is, or see what's trending on Netflix, on Twitter, and we just kind of pick out, like we did a Tiger King set. So we can pick out what's trending and going on and make them into parody and pun, and just kind of slapstick it. And we also do coloring pages too to go along with those sets to increase the average order value and kind of give someone a complete gift. So we are gift focused. The great thing about our company too is you don't have to love coloring to buy our products, because they're basically a novelty gift you want to buy your friends or your family and just have on the shelf. So when someone comes over, you can say, hey, look at this set of The Office colors right now. And this one's called Threat Level Midnight and it's black. And this one's called the Scran Tan Strangler and it's tan. So we just have all of these different products that are just great gifts and great fun things. People buy them for Christmas, birthdays, just to lift someone up if they're having a bad day. Our nursing set has been doing, really good lately because of all the nurses and the COVID situation and people wanting to appreciate them, which has been great to see. And we did a special discount for that situation. So we essentially pick our products by seeing what's trending. We also have an automated email flow. And part of that series is we offer people a gift card in exchange for ideas. And then what we do is every 3 or 4 months, we pool all of their ideas. We see which ones match up. And then we order them by percentage. So say a lot of people wanted Schitt's Creek, and that's the majority. Then we'll choose that as our next set to release, and then we'll work our way down from there. So it is kind of crowdsourced, and people have fun with it. I mean, when you see our products, you want to actually be involved, and you start thinking of everyday items and what kind of funny colors you could name them. So that's kind of how we pick our products.
That's fantastic. Let me ask you this. So I'm your end user, I'm your customer. How do I get my hands on a Carol Baskin's color? How do I do it? How do you market it? How do you get it to your customer?
Okay, so this is what we do. We're very shareable, we're very buzzable. So we have a lot of press. So we've been featured in BuzzFeed 6 times. I'm actually in direct communication with several of their authors on BuzzFeed. HuffPost, Pop Sugar, lots of the geek websites, so many sites like that share us. I mean, it's for them, it's people, even if it's just using it as content that's fun, I mean, it's very, even though we're selling something, it's not super promotional, just to put a set of colored pencils with funny names on them and assign them to a certain, thing in pop culture. So we got the shareability for the publications, and then we have Facebook traffic that we drive to it, Instagram. We're getting a lot more organic reach now, and haven't really done a lot in content marketing or optimization for SEO on the listings, which is an opportunity which we might discuss later. But we got an Amazon channel as well, an FBA channel. So people, that's that's kind of set it and forget it right now. We don't focus too much on pay-per-click over there. We really want our sales to go to us on Shopify as much as possible. We put them in a flow where we have upsells and cross-sells and, announce new sets. And we have an email list of 62,000 people now. So that's also something we can deploy at any given time. And, the good thing about our products is they're fun, and it doesn't ever seem too salesy because we're just having fun, like I said, and not taking ourselves too seriously, but we're also offering the product, but they can be essentially treated as memes and fun things to look at and share with your friends as well.
That's great. So it sounds like the asset that we're looking at listing here is very owner operated. Walk me through some of your day-to-day operations.
All right, so we've worked really hard on this. Like, we started out doing everything ourselves. I was in a 600 square foot apartment in New York City when I started, shipping. I have a picture, and the apartment was literally full of shipping envelopes. We've moved every year as we've grown to different places. And now we're finally in a scale position where we have automated all the shipping and fulfillment to a third party. So essentially, we're taking a lot of work out of what we were doing in a warehouse or a shipping facility ourselves. So the shipping and fulfillment is taken care of. Really, the big things that I do right now are marketing. So that's driving traffic from Facebook, Instagram to our site. I probably spend a few hours a week on that. So it's nothing too intense. Of course, during the holidays, which you can see by the trend line every year, a huge spike, just normal for the type of business we are. That's going to be more heavily, at least 8 to 12 hours just doing PPC and things like that. And then also putting together the newsletter, the email, making sure that's put together. One of the things that I've been really bad on, which is an opportunity for the potential buyer, would be to send out more email. But during the holidays, I do a better job. But throughout the year, every time we send an email, money comes in. So there is money being left on the table. But yeah, so hopefully that kind of answers your question.
Oh, absolutely. So let's just assume I'm your buyer. How does the average Joe or the typical person like myself carry on with scaling this business? What are the growth potential? What is the opportunity in front of myself that I can see, but how do I make it bigger, better, more profitable?
Yeah. So there's a lot here. There's a lot of opportunity. Number one is to simply spend more time on it. I am building a chocolate factory right now, so I'm busy doing that. But spend more time on it, which would mean also spending more resources. So we've ran out of inventory, which you can clearly see in our reports every year in Amazon, like in early December or late November. We've probably left $50,000 to $100,000 at least without doing anything extra on the table just because of that. And then we also, so putting more money into inventory, doing more inventory management, being better at that. I'm not very good at that. I tend to be pretty conservative, and I can scale a business to a certain point and then I get a little uncomfortable. So someone who has a little bit more capital to deploy, maybe in a little bit better situation where they're not building out a chocolate factory and spending lots of money on that. So yeah, deploying more capital to inventory would be a no-brainer. Also, scaling Facebook ads. We've never reached the limit of like, okay, that's how much we can spend and before the return on investment depletes. So right now we're spending a comfortable, few $100s a day on Facebook. But we've never really ramped that up to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. So once again, it's a capital thing, but also right now our return on Facebook is like 3 to 4x, which is really good. Plus our repeat customer rate is pretty high. So I think that, so deploying more capital for inventory, scaling the ads, and then also I would say just to pick one more would be launching more SKUs. A good way, so we do capitalize on current trends, but most of these like, say Schitt's Creek or even like nursing, which is not something in pop culture, but like more of a career path, like those are going to be popular for a long time. And we're still selling. I mean, we have a Friends parody set that we've been selling, since we started, and it sells like no matter what. So some of these will fade away if the trend dies. And so like it's important to cancel those out and then always be adding new SKUs. So it's passive with some of those home run hitters that are always going to sell, but it's also active in the fact that you always have to be looking for new SKUs and just increasing the quantity. We haven't really launched a lot of SKUs in the last year or two, mostly just because I haven't done it. There's no real reason that we haven't done it, other than the fact that I've just haven't done it. So I think that launching more SKUs, staying up to date. And the good thing, like we mentioned before, is like, a lot of this can be done crowdsourced with the automated email and posting on Facebook and Instagram and getting people's, also just going and looking, like I said, on Netflix, or like using a keyword tool like Ahrefs and seeing what's trending, or Google Trends. So you don't have to like be personally tied to to a certain thing in order to launch these products. So yeah, scale ads, scale inventory, and launch more products.
Fantastic. Now, the $1 million question is, how does the business make money? Now, not just e-commerce, you sell your product online, but walk me through the process. When it comes to talking and communicating with your manufacturers and with your business contacts, how long does it take for you to get the product? How long does it take for the customer to get the product? Let's walk through that entire process.
Okay, yeah, this is a great time to mention that we currently are, so we have a tiered system. So we order the product from China, and it's completely just sent to us in the color, no names on it, no boxes. So we act as our own manufacturer in this sense. Is once we get the product, we in our warehouse, we stamp it and we box it. But we're not asking the buyer to do that. I have a warehouse facility that fulfills 2 other companies I have, and we're willing to be the supplier for at least 2 years or however long the buyer wants us to be. So essentially, the benefit of that is that we have the product already from China, and you can place an order that's a small MOQ with us and get the product a lot quicker, or get us to send the product into Amazon. Plus, we're going to make sure it's prepped the right way. We're going to do quality control. Of course, we're going to sign an NDA. We're not going to try to launch anything pencils. That's fine. But we do realize that one of the keys to success of this business, and one of the reasons why it's actually a positive, even though it can seem a little more labor intensive, is that we're ready to go on the drop of a dime if something comes out. Like if Tiger King comes out, instead of waiting 3 months, 5 months from China, you can capitalize on the moment and get products out as soon as possible. You can place lower order quantities. If you run out during Christmas, you can phone us and say, hey, we need this. So we are going to be acting as a supplier if you want. Of course, if you always want to go somewhere else, that's fine. But I think one of the value props of this situation can be that we are your print on demand, essentially. And we can, so that means you won't have to have a physical location. You won't have to have, boxes and poly bags and prepping all this stuff. We can do a full service for you, send it into the 3PL of your choice. And that's kind of the way it works, because the business model is very profitable and the cash flow is great. And that's partly because we're able to capitalize on things very quickly.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Now you keep mentioning the pronoun we. Walk me through your team, what it takes to fully function as a company, and what's going to be included in the sale with the asset.
Yeah, so when I say we, I have an operations manager, which basically won't be coming with the sale because he is more on the supply side. So essentially we'll be separating it out, and there'll be the buyer, and then Josh, who's our operations manager, will be staying on the supply side and fulfilling your orders that you place with us, essentially, for the business. He also does customer service right now. We'd be willing to negotiate, continuing that relationship, or if you prefer to use someone else for customer service, which of course can be mobile, it doesn't have to be in a physical location, that's fine. But so essentially it's Josh, me, and then during the holidays, we usually hire a virtual assistant to do some more customer service, because Josh focuses more on production, and then we hire some temporary help just to get us through that holiday season, because obviously it's a massive time of year for us.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yep.
Makes sense. So at the end of the day, why are you selling?
Okay. Like I said,
the tough one's at the end, right?
Yeah. So I'm really good, and I've done this. This is my third business I'm selling within a matter of 5 years. So first of all, I get distracted very easily, and I'm trying to accept that about myself, that I like to build. So I've built a blog, which I sold here on Flippa. I built an e-commerce website, which I sold, for a good amount on another platform. And then I'm really good at getting companies to like around $1 million run rate for the year. And then I have trouble taking the risk or being motivated to take it past that, because by that point I've already solved the initial like problem in my head, or the itch that I've scratched it, and I'm kind of already thinking about new business ideas. So I live in Oregon, and I'm actually building a physical chocolate factory right now that's going to be part retail and part direct to consumer online. It's just only vegan chocolate. We're trying to do the first mainstream vegan milk chocolate in the world. So that's what I'm working on, and that's just where my passion is right now. I'm really into making chocolate from bean to bar. I love Popcolors. It's a great business. Honestly, the cash flow is really great and everything, but I'm self-funding the chocolate factory, and I've literally already put hundreds of thousands of dollars into it. And it'd be nice to like have some more capital instead of giving away a large percentage and raising money for the chocolate factory. I'd rather self-fund it and keep total ownership for that project. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, hey man, that's all I have for you today. I hope it was pretty painless and seamless, and I appreciate the conversation. I think you have a fantastic asset.